What is going on, good people? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to easily make those melodic acoustic guitar type trap melodies. A quick disclaimer before we dive into the tutorial, you are going to need Omnisphere if you want to learn how to do this through this tutorial. So if you don't have Omnisphere, this tutorial probably won't help too much. But if you do, perfect. Yeah, let's just dive into the tutorial. Alright then, let's dive into this one, good people. Now, first thing you're going to need is to sort out the tempo of the beat. Kind of melodic guitar beats, they tend to be between 120 BPM and 110 BPM. First things first, we're going to come to the top and adjust our BPM. So I'm going to go for 115, just for no reason. Next thing you want to do is load up Omnisphere, and because we're going with a guitar melody, I'm just going to start things off with the classic nylon guitar. I'm going to start with that. I may change it later on down the line. It's just a good basis to start things with. So get that loaded up. Okay, the next thing you want to do is sort out your scales. And if you have no music theory knowledge or any proper music theory knowledge like myself, then you're going to want to insert the scales just so you know that you're not going to be drawing in the wrong keys. What I like to do is come to an empty sampler. I know there is the helpers, but I'm old school. I used FL11 for a long time, so I'm just used to this. So I'm just going to come to an empty sampler, and for the type of melody that I'm going to show you, I want you to go with the Frisian mode. It's right down here at the bottom. It says other Frisian. That's the one you want to go for, and then just draw in a scale. It doesn't really matter what key. For me, I'm just going to go with A minor. All you're going to do is just copy and paste that through a few octaves. Control C, Control V. And then you're just going to select all of those scales and drag them across a full bar just so we can see whilst we're drawing our chord progression in. So just go ahead and drag that all the way across. And then when you go into your Omnisphere pattern, you can see all of the keys that we drew in as like a faded key. So we're just going to stay within these faded keys. Nothing will sound out of place. Okay, once you've got that sorted, we're now going to start drawing in our chord progression. I'd use 2 to 3 different chords in the whole progression. You don't really need much more. So I'm just going to go in and start drawing my melody. So my root note was A sharp. So I'm just going to draw that in as the first key. I'm going to go down to F sharp, back up to A, down to F, and then have something change a little bit here. Maybe just come up to G sharp. Okay. Okay, that sounds good enough to me. Make sure you've just got those single keys drawn in first, so then you can start building the chords up or down below it. So just skip a ghost note and put in a key, skip a ghost note and put in a key. Awesome, got my chord progression down. Next thing we're gonna do, and this is why you need Omnisphere, because basically what we're gonna do is head over to the ARP section on the main interface and just turn it on. And then all we're going to do right now is just play with the settings until we find a nice melody that we like. That's literally as simple as it is. So all you're going to do is come down to this section. This is where the ARP's going to play and where it isn't. So if these little rectangles are highlighted blue, then that's where keys are going to play. If it isn't, it won't play anything. I want something nice and slow, something nice and melodic. And if you're a Gunner fan, if you like those kind of triplet type melodies, those kind of, you know, nice flowing melodies, then I recommend coming to this clock section. This is where it's going to sort of determine how often the keys hit, and we're going to go into the triplet section right here. And I normally go between 1/16, 1/8, and 1/4, just depends on the tempo of the beat. So let's just try 1/8 right now and see how that sounds. Okay, I like the sound of 1/4, but what I'm going to do is put it in 1/8 and then slap some halftime on it, just so it gives it more of a sort of slow and stretched out vibe. This is a paid plugin, but if you have Gross Beat, you can do the exact same thing. And if you're watching this, I'm pretty sure you already know about Gross Beat. Yeah. I don't really like this guitar sound with this chord progression and this kind of ARP. So yeah, I'm just gonna cycle through some different sounds and see what I like. But if you do like it, stay with it. Like, it's not. I'm not here to tell you what preset to use. You know, just find one that you feel like is suitable for your beat. Okay, perfect. I have a sound that I'm happy with right now. I've just got this kind of mandolin sound. Okay, it sounds okay, but I want to kind of make this more unique, make it sort of my own thing and not just sort of a basic preset. So I'm just going to add some effects just to bring it out a little bit. Fruity chorus sounds good, fruity phaser, and a fruity flanger. So 1 or 2 or all 3 of those normally sounds good on a guitar. So I'm just going to start with fruity chorus and then sort of bring the levels down. Okay, that sounds good. Now I'm just gonna add some reverb to this and kind of make it feel like it's sat in a proper room. Turn the low cut up, size up, delay up, down. Okay, boom. I'm fairly happy with that. Now, like, that's going to be like the main basis of my melody. Normally, I'd probably have that kind of melody run throughout the whole beat, but it's a good idea to add some layers and variation to that melody as the beat progresses, because you just don't want to have the same thing like looping over and over again. So what I'm going to do is just pull up any other plugin. It doesn't have to be Omnisphere on this one. You just want to have that kind of ARP playing as a basis. So I'm just going to open up expand, come over to, I'm going to add some kind of, I'm going to add another guitar layer, and all I'm going to do is copy and paste the chord progression from the Omnisphere pattern to the expand one and just drop it down a few octaves so we've got like a nice undertone. I just need to add some kind of counter melody that can drop in and out throughout the beat, and then that way you've got some like decent variation. So with it being a kind of acoustic or realistic type vibe, you want to go with like another realistic sound. So for me, I'm going to open up another expand and go for some kind of like woodwind sound, like a piccolo or a flute or something like that. And then we're going to start drawing in the counter melody. Now I've said this in several tutorials, but the key thing is to just stay within the chord progression. Just draw any note within these 3 keys. In this section, you're going to draw within these 3 keys, and you'll be fine. That's just the safest way to go about it. Okay, that's sounding pretty good to me. I may want to add some more layers in later on, but I have like the main basis of my beat. I know that I'm going to have that main guitar playing throughout the whole beat. I'm going to bring in those lower chords maybe during the chorus, and I'm going to have that flute come in and out throughout the beat as well. So let me just kind of structure the melody into like a format that would make sense within a beat, and then you guys can kind of like see what I'm doing with it. Okay, so I'm just going to come into where I'm going to arrange the beat. I'm going to right click pattern 1, I'm going to split them by channel. Basically what that's just going to do is split all of the individual sounds into their own pattern. I've come up with something that I think I'm, liking. Now in terms of like the structure, it really doesn't have to be too complicated. So I'll just run through exactly what I've done here. So for my intro, I had something super simple, just the initial melody, and then I brought in those lower chords. Okay, and then we're gonna dive straight into the chorus right here, which is just gonna have the original melody play again, and then all of the sounds are gonna come back in the last 4 bar. Everything ducks out of the way again for the verse, so you've got a lot of space, and then just the single flute's gonna play throughout the rest of the verse. And then we're just straight back into the chorus again. So basically the rule of thumb here is just to have something chop and change like within every 8 bar or 4 bar. That is literally it. You don't really have to do too much else to it. Keep it nice and simple. Make sure there's plenty of space for the drums and for the artist to actually, lay some vocals over it. So, hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure you leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the tutorial. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.